Sorry guys, summer's over, school's in, and it's time to get your noses back to the grindstone. But does it really have to be that stressful? Answer is no. In this video, I've got 4 tips for you on how you can create some really healthy study habits that are going to get you through your education without having too much stress. You ready? Let's get started. Hello to you, welcome to my channel Reroute Your Life. My name is Emma Jane, I'm a life coach, author and spiritual guide, and in this video we're talking about healthy study habits. Now, I work as a student life coach in a business academy in Denmark, and I see year after year after year student stress levels rising and people basically having breakdowns and not being able to continue their education. Which is so sad because realistically you can avoid a large amount of stress during your education. Now, of course, some stress is going to be happening. You're basically in a brain gym, especially if you're an international student studying in a different language. Your brain is working twice as hard. And it's like any muscle, when you stretch it, when you work it, it's going to hurt. But there are so many ways that you can keep your stress in check and that you can get through your education whilst enjoying your life and minimizing your stress. So this video, I've got 4 top tips for you of how you can do just that. So tip number 1 is simplify your life, systemize your life. Once you've got into the swing of things and you know when your classes are and you know when you're going to be in school and maybe you know when you're going to be working, this is the time to simplify your life and to cut down on decision stress. Tip number one is to simplify and systemize your life. Now, we make hundreds of decisions every single day, and without us even noticing it, we get decision stress because our brain is constantly making choices. And you can simplify your life by systemizing your life, which is going to cut out that stress. And when your brain's overworking at school, you want to have it easy, right? So there's loads of different ways you can do this. I mean, Steve Jobs was brilliant at it. He did it with his clothes. He wore the same thing every day so that he could concentrate on other more important tasks. And I'm not saying you have to wear exactly the same thing every day. Now, I've written an article about it. It's down below, and there's also a video which you can have a look at how you can actually simplify your life, systemize it so that you can get a really good work-life balance while you're studying. Tip number 2 is to know your learning style. Now, it's really interesting because as human beings, we all have a predominant and a secondary learning style. So the 3 learning styles are visual, audio, or kinesthetic, which basically means learning by actually doing something. You've all got one of those styles which is the dominant style that you have, and one of them that's secondary. And there's loads of tests online. I'll put one down here so that you can check it out and go and find out. Once you know your learning style, then align your study process, especially your revision process, with that. So if you're somebody, for example, studying marketing and you have to draw a model of something, a process that you need to use, like a SWOT analysis or something like that, physically draw it. Don't just have a look at it in the book. Actually take a piece of paper and draw it out, because then you're going to remember it better. If you're a visual learner, a really good way is to watch videos. So maybe read in your book about something and then watch a short video about it, or make sure that you're seeing a presentation. And again, for audio listeners, rather than trying to just read the books, why not listen to the books, get the audio books, or get podcasts about the subjects that you're learning. So use your learning style to your advantage to help you get the most out of your studies. Tip number 3, take care of your body. Now, you'll hear me hammering on about this in many of my videos, but human beings, we're basically a machine. And if we're not taking care of the machine, we're not going to be able to work. And you know, if you look at athletes when they're training for a big competition, they really take care of what they eat, that they're looking after their body, they're training it, and that they're sleeping as well. And yes, I know being a student is fun and you want to enjoy yourself, but please remember to eat, remember to sleep. If you don't like to have breakfast, then find something really simple that you can eat and have it in your first break, because if you don't eat in the morning, you're not going to be able to concentrate. So I had a student that was really struggling to concentrate, and he quite liked eating fruit for breakfast, but he didn't really have time, so he would grab a banana and eat it 5 minutes before his first class. So get that fuel in the body, give your body the rest, and yes, enjoy yourself, because having fun is also a way of taking care of your body. When we've got a lot of stress, we've got a lot of cortisol in our body, the stress hormone, and having fun, laughing, not getting hammered drunk and, not taking care of your body, but hanging out with friends, doing something stupid, doing something silly, having an adventure, or just watching your favorite comedy series is going to help minimize your stress levels. So take care of your body. And tip number 4, which is one I consider really, really, really important for those of you that are going into higher education especially, and that is drop the perfectionism, guys. You can't compare yourself to somebody else, and when you're trying to be perfect, you are setting yourself up for a fail. You're in education not because you know everything, but because you need to learn everything, okay? You're supposed to be making mistakes right now because that is how you learn. You're supposed to not know the answers and ask questions because that is how you learn. And you're not a lesser being for doing that, okay? Now, one of the tools I have for my students to stop them comparing their work with everybody else and to work on themselves and drop the perfectionism is actually to create a success criteria for their projects. And what I ask them to do is to look back at their previous work, their previous animation, their previous essay, whatever it is that they've done, and ask themselves how they can improve on that project. How can they do better in the next presentation? And I ask them to brainstorm 3 to 5 success criteria. Now, very important, in the success criteria is not the results you're going to get. This is all about how can you improve on what you previously did, because in essence, in truth, we can only compare ourselves to ourselves. We don't know anybody else's journey. We don't know what's going on behind the scenes, so we can't compare our journey to theirs. You can only compare your journey to yourself. So try making a success criteria for your projects, for your presentations, just 3 to 5. I wouldn't do more than that because then you're trying too much, okay? But just give yourself the guidelines. And if you've done 3 out of the 5, that is good enough. That is doing your best, okay? So try it, drop the perfectionism, and start comparing your own work to your own work, your own progress to your own progress. So guys, I've written an article about this, which I will link down below with a few more tips and tools in there for you that you might find useful to help you have a good work-life balance while you're doing your studies, and so that you can get through your studies minimizing the stress and maximizing the fun, okay? So check those out, and if you like this video, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. Ring the bell, because I've got videos coming out all the time to help you grow, develop, and most importantly, enjoy your life's journey, because that is what it's all about. Well, as far as I'm concerned, it is. Take care, my darlings, take care of yourselves, and I'll see you very, very soon in the next video.